Hi all, it's Ed Ralph from Racket Ralphs. Welcome to the channel. First of all, apologies, it's been a couple of months or so since I put out a video, so really sorry for that. Been mega busy. We're currently early February, 9th of February today, and I guess for the last couple of months I've been sort of just working loads and everything like that. Working currently with the main business, which is a driving school. Been working about 70 hours a week with that, and then on top of that the snakes, and on top of that pigs that I keep, and various things I do. I'm sort of vice chair of governors at the kids' school and chairman of the cricket club, and then on top of all of that, about a month and a half ago, or just under, at the beginning of the year, I had a change of responsibility at the church I attend. Actually was asked to move congregations and become the main minister there. It's all voluntary in the church that we attend, so yeah, no paid clergy, and so I've moved to a different unit at Salisbury, and it's been a great privilege to be able to do that, but it's a lot of work, and I found that it's been quite a bit to do, particularly as there was a lot of catch up to do in that. So apologies, the snakes have been looked after, but the videos and stuff haven't been happening, but so quite a bit to catch up on. First thing to say in terms of today's video, there is, some of you may have heard, there's some fairly important legislation going on or being looked at in the States at the moment, with regards to keeping all animals. Justin Kaboko has just put out a video yesterday, I believe, and I'll put the link to it, of showing support there. He explains it a lot better than I will, but basically it's a change in law, which means that potentially the US government could make it so that you couldn't keep anything like reptiles or stuff like that. You'd have to prove that it wasn't going to cause a problem in any area of the US. Now, obviously we're not in the US, but we do know from experience with other things that legislation that is passed in one country, particularly for us in the UK, stuff that happens in the States often will get lots of publicity here, and often will affect things here. So Justin Kaboko explains it well. I'll include the link, but certainly get behind that US ARC fight for our rights as reptile keepers, obviously predominantly in the US, but as I say, has a knock-on effect. So something that I think is probably the biggest threat to the industry, really, is just over legislating. Obviously I'm only just getting into the industry. We're just at the beginning of our first breeding season, haven't hatched anything yet, haven't got any eggs yet, but and I think the industry can be brilliant, and there's so much potential, but we need to be able to sensibly be able to sort of govern ourselves, if you like, and not be over legislated. So I'll include the link. If you feel like you can get behind that, please do. The other thing I wanted to do before we get into talking about or looking at some snakes, which I know is why most of you are on this channel, is a few shout outs and thank yous. So first of all, a huge thanks to Hamlin. I've been meaning to put this on the last couple of videos. Hamlin has been a big supporter of ours for a little while. He sends us messages. I'm really appreciative, Hamlin, particularly of sort of the support that you're giving the kids. Hamlin is sort of he's sent some sort of private messages to me to pass on to Ruben about how he views Ruben's art, and Ruben's got quite a talent for art, and Hamlin's been sort of bigging him up with that, which is really nice. He sent us private sort of links to things that he thinks that the kids could do to be able to help to increase some of their sort of earning potential using the snakes. Some of you may have seen our videos of how we've got a little experiment, I guess you'd call it, with the kids, where two of them, Miriam and Ruben, we gave a budget to buy 2 snakes, and they're going to be breeding from them, and hopefully making some profit in the longer term future. And Hamlin sort of has sent us some links of some really cool things like jewelry and stuff like that he's seen made using, for example, snake skin, just a byproduct that at the minute goes in the bin, but snake skin that's dried and then put into resin and made jewelry, etc., and paperweights and stuff like that. Some really cool stuff. So thanks for that, Hamlin. Also wanted to thank Rob at Royal Balls, who has also been a huge supporter, particularly for the getting the kids involved and stuff, and is always making really positive comments, and has also helped us a lot with some troubleshooting that we'll share one of in a minute, with talking to you about bringing an update on the snakes. And as ever, also a huge thanks to Paul and New Forest Morphs, and for all of his continued support. I think we're going to be going on Snake Take, which is Paul's I guess chat show, online chat show, I guess, about snakes, and I think we're going to be organising a date to go on that with him in the next few weeks or so. So when that happens, I'll include a link, although probably most of you are already involved with his channel anyway. But thanks for all of those. Just wanted to mention those 3 in particular. So it's been a while. It's been 2 months since we've spoken to you and shared anything with you because of all of the other commitments. So first of all, wanted to share with you a pickup that we had, and he's been with us for a couple of months. No, well, 6 weeks now, I guess. I should put that light on. I'll get a bit more light. So I'm going to take the camera and going to introduce you. I'll just move this out of the way. Going to introduce you to our most recent pickup. He's in here. So he's only very small at the minute. We got him just before Christmas. So he's been with us for about 6 weeks, I guess. And he's a bit hissy. He is called the Hulk. He isn't much of a Hulk at the minute. But maybe I'll put him back in there because he's easier to see in there in his colours. Look at that. So some of you may know what this is. This is a desert ghost, a visual desert ghost male. Shout out to Woody Reptiles, where we got him from. I'll include the link to them as well. Yeah, so he's a visual desert ghost. Desert ghost is just an amazing recessive gene. Really, really brightened. So you can see they're fairly normal looking pattern, but the colours are nothing but normal. Just so bright. And that's just the desert ghost. He hasn't got any other any codoms or anything in him. But that's really bright. And you put desert ghost with into other things. I mean, it goes really well with pastel. I know some people aren't keen on pastel, probably because it's been around so long and it's in so many things. But desert ghost really does make pastel pop. In particular though, desert ghost is, well, I mean, it's great with everything, to be honest, but in particular I love the desert ghost pieds and the desert ghost clowns, and certainly have some plans to put him into that. Now the hope with this the Hulk is 50% het for clown. So I'm keeping everything crossed that he proves out. Let's hope he does prove out. If he does, then that would be amazing. So visual desert ghost, 50% het for clown. Let me just try and bring him out again. We'll get a bit of a better look at what the desert ghost does. So creates these the whites up the side. You can still see some flaming, but you know, white flames really. Gives this edging of white going up. Wax out the pattern a little bit. Really nice. Also does some stuff. I don't know if I can on my own, if you can see his belly there. You can see the belly. Bit of a wacky belly pattern you get with it. There you go. See a bit of his belly underneath there. But he's gorgeous. As I say, desert ghost, 50% het clown, and I'm hoping beyond hope that he proves out. So what we're going to put him to, well, he's not going to anything for a while yet, obviously. Oh, that's what I meant to do. Let me weigh him. Let's see what he's weighing. So when we picked him up, he was about 140 grams, I think it was, on memory. And he's now, let's see if you can see that, 187. So he's put on a little bit, not loads. He has been just, he was a bit slow eating. Not for us, but for the breeder. So it took a while to pick him up because of that. He didn't get onto frozen thawed very well, but he now pounds frozen thawed. But he's been on mice, and obviously not ideal for putting on weight. So but he's now big enough, and I've actually got an order of rats and stuff coming today, rats and Maltese and stuff. So I'm going to try him on his first rat and see if we can get him putting on weight a little bit bigger, a bit quicker rather, with a bigger prey item. But that's him. So who's he going to? Well, we brought him to go to this girl here, who you've seen before. We picked her up last autumn, I guess it was, something like that. Probably autumn. And this is Aphrodite. This is officially it's sort of Lucy's snake. This is a cypress, pastel cypress, and she is 100% het for desert ghost. So 50% chance of getting visual desert ghost. We're putting her to the Hulk, who's the visual. So she's gorgeous. I love the cypress gene. Absolutely love the cypress gene, which you get almost like these donuts on the back, down the spine there. Sort of does stuff with the alien heads, makes it a bit more sort of gravelly. And what Desert Ghost will do with this is it's just going to take it to another level with the brightness, but it's also going to clean it all up as well. So so some of the sort of speckling is going to all be cleaned up through putting Desert Ghost into this. So she is going to go to him. She's only small too. What's she weighing at the minute? Let's just see what she's weighing. So she is weighing 262 grams. So she's still got a long way to go. He's going to be ready to breed before she is. But definitely those two are going to go together. And one of my favourite morphs is pastel cypress clowns, and hopefully we've got, well, if he proves out, we've got all of the genetics in those two to be able to work towards that. Not straight away, but to be able to work towards it. We'll have the visual Desert Ghost cypress, pastel cypress Desert Ghost, and hopefully if he does prove out, the young will also be 50% het for clown, which then the following generation could create a pastel cypress desert ghost clown. That would be amazing to produce that. So just want to give you some updates on some of the other stuff. First of all, now some of you will have seen our setup before. Let me see if I can come back and show you a bit more. So we've got, within my son's room is where we keep the snakes. As you can see, it's not the biggest of rooms. So we've got some of the adult racks in here. We've currently got, these are all from Herp Exotics, and they're 33 litre rubs. So we've currently got 15 rubs in here, which are adult ones, the 33 litre ones. There's another 5 in the next room. We've got 10 of the 12 litre ones, which we use for juveniles, or young and juveniles, hatchlings and juveniles. And there's another 10 of those in the room next door as well. So in total, we've got currently 20 of the 33 litre rubs and 20 of the 12 litre rubs. I've just ordered another 10 of the, or 2 racks in other words, of the 33 litre ones, and I've also ordered an incubator because our hope is that we will have eggs later this year. So one's going to go on here with the another rack on top there. We're probably actually, my son's clothing is at the bottom, and we're probably going to move that so that these all come down. You can see it's right near the ceiling at the minute. It's quite hard to get to the top one there. You can do it, but it's tight. So that'll all lower down, what, 18 inches or so. And so we'll have 3 lots of the 33 litre racks, or 6 racks, but one on top of the other, and then 2 of the juveniles. So we'll have 30 of the 33 litre and 20 of the 12 litre rubs, and eventually we will get one more sort of line in here, column in here. So we'll have 40 of the 33 litre ones. But we've ordered an incubator. I will build an incubator at some stage, but my wife wasn't keen on me doing that first of all, and so we've bought an incubator, again from Herp Exotics, which can hold up to 6 clutches at a time, which will be fine for what we first need. We'll show you why we're going to need that, hopefully. But before that, I wanted to just show you into here. Now, she's in shed, so I'm not going to pick her up. She's actually moved to hide. So, hopefully you can see this girl. She's already picking up. I'm not going to try and disturb her too much. You can see she might even go for me. She's a very nervous one. This one is called Caramel. Why am I showing you Caramel? Well, we were concerned for Caramel. She came to us from Europe. She's currently weighing about 600 grams, or just under now. She came from Europe to us in September from a breeder in Italy, and he was brilliant. He was really good, but she's been a bit of a fussy eater, and I suspected she might have been even before I bought her, because she's about 2 years, well, coming up to 2 years old. She's about 18 months old now. She's only 600 grams, but she came to us. She's gorgeous. Anyone might be able to spot some of the genes in there. So she is a pastel Enchi butter spot nose, and she is 100% het for clown. So she is, you can see she's in the S position. She's in blue. She is in our plans for the Pompeii. Could also obviously put her into the Batman project, but we have a different one for the Batman project because we've got a female that is het Batman. I'll just quickly show you her, Okoye. There she is. She's she's soiled in her water. I have to change that in a minute. She's just curling up against the against her water bowl there. She's gone off food a little bit recently. I suspect she might be getting to the 1,000 gram wall possibly. She used to nail food, and then the last month or so she's not been as bothered. She's about 950 grams at the minute, so she might be hitting a wall. Hopefully not, but we will see. But she's actually a pastel leopard spot nose, 100% het for clown. So she is and she's possibly het for pied too, although unlikely, we think. But yeah, her father was a 50% het pied, and he didn't prove out this last season from the breeder. The breeder is going to try one more time just to double check. So there is a chance she's het pied, but unlikely. But she is a het she's a het Batman. She's amazing. I love her. She's one of my favourites. But yeah, so she's going to be the Batman maker, pastel Batman maker, because she's got all of the genes. To make a Batman, you need, I can see it, leopard and spot nose and clown. So she's het clown. She's got the leopard and spot nose, and she's also got pastel as well. Whereas Caramel over here, back to her, has got the spot nose, hasn't got the and she's got the het clown. She has not got the leopard. She has got Enchi, and she has got butter. Nearly said lesser, basically the same thing really, but butter she is. So why was I worried about her? Well, she came, and like I say, she just would not feed. Absolutely would not feed. And she went from 600 grams down to just under 400. Well, no, she was just a bit under 600 when we got her, about 580 I think she was at the beginning of September, and she would not feed, and she went down to about 390. And I was starting to get worried. She'd obviously lost weight, and she was, but more than that, she was starting to noticeably sort of deteriorate in condition a little bit. And Rob at Raw Balls had already given me some advice on this girl over here, who's hiding and doing really, really well now. She came from Europe and was a live feeder, and she would not eat. And he gave me some advice, and followed the advice, and she ate straight away. So his advice basically was to just leave her completely alone, not open the rub for anything, leave her for a week or so, and then present the food, having sort of aired the room with the odour of the rats. Present the food, see if she'd take it. If she didn't, try drop feeding, and if she still didn't, just leave her and see if she ate. And she did, and we had to do that a couple of times. She was also a mouse feeder, this particular one. She is a pastel lavender albino, 66% het for clown. She's called Captain Marvel. But yeah, we got her feeding. She now nails mice. She's on jumbo mice now, and she's doing really well. Well, Caramel down here again. We did know that she was advertised as live feeder and sometimes feeding on frozen thawed. Could not do anything to get her to eat. Tried it all. Tried the same thing as Rob had said with this, with Captain Marvel. That didn't work. Left it in there, didn't work. Tried the lot. Tried different prey items. So she was down as feeding on rats. Tried Maltese, tried mice. Just didn't want any of it. Then I guess about the beginning of January, and like I say, I was starting to get really quite worried because she was noticeably losing condition. Beginning of January, she's just started to show a little bit more interest. Stuff like some defensive strikes at the food, not taking it. She actually wrapped and coiled once and then left it. That was in probably November, and I thought, oh, we're getting there now, and then she just sort of reverted back to her old ways. But she started showing some more interest in early January. Well, she has fed the last 3 times on jumbo mice. So again, when she started showing interest, I started trying the different prey items, and she definitely, even though she was listed as, when buying her, is a rat eater, she didn't seem interested in that, didn't seem interested in the Maltese, but paid more attention to the mice. So she has fed the last 3 times, and she not has just fed, but she's taken jumbo mouse. I'm not going to pick her up. You can see she's in the S position. She is quite a nervy snake, which is why we've got her on cocoa husk, hoping to be able to move her off of that gradually. But we'll keep her on there for a bit longer while we're getting her to just keep nailing food. But what I want to say was, first of all, if they're not eating, don't get too worried. Snakes are designed to be able to fast for a long time, and even with her losing condition, she was okay. And noticeably, the interesting thing is, when she started to noticeably start to lose condition, that's when her appetite kicked back in. The other thing is, as long as your other husbandry stuff is up to scratch, and you know, so your temps are right, you're on top of humidity, you know, try and just add variety. That's why she's on the cocoa husk. That made her feel a bit more comfortable. She can sort of burrow down into that. You can see she's created a little hollow for herself there. If I just zoom out, you can see that she's got a hollow there that she's created, so she's on a heat spot. Yeah, but what I was going to say, they bounce back quick, so I'm not going to pick her up. As you can see, she's very aware I'm here, and she's in the S position, ready to tag me. She's in blue, so she's more vulnerable at the minute, and she recognises that. In fact, before the video I opened up and she did go to strike. But with just 3 feeds on a jumbo mouse, she's already back up to 550 grams. So she's put on about 160 grams through just having 3 feeds. She's only pooed, I think, once, maybe twice with that, and they were small poos. So what happens is that when they need it, they will use those nutrients. They will create minimal byproduct in the form of feces, and they will use all of that energy to bounce back, to lay on that fat and muscle reserve. So I'm feeling a lot more confident about her now. She's in blue. We've got feeding tomorrow, so she probably won't feed this time. I'll still offer, and you never know, she might take, but she probably won't. But yeah, it's don't get worried if your snakes aren't eating. So that's her. Let me just I just want to give you an update though on some of the others, because time's pushing on. Why we need an incubator. So the first one in here, you've seen her before several times, and she is looking quite big now. She's weighing about 2,200 grams, maybe a bit more when I last weighed her a couple of weeks ago. She's looking pretty chunky. So this is Storm. She is our super pastel cinnamon, and she is being bred to Star-Lord, who is just above. Oh, he's under his hide there, but he is our visual pied ultramel. They've had, I think, 4 locks now, so they're doing well. She spends most of her time on the call end. The temps are fine, so don't worry about that. She's not at the call end because of too high temp. She's at the call end because she's building follicles. And actually, I've been palpating her, and I think the last couple of weeks, I think I can feel some follicles there as well. So I think she's building. I think she's going to be the first to go for us, I'm hoping. But she's pretty chunky. If I put my hand here for reference sort of thing, or I wonder if I can give you something which is a bit more of a reference point. So here's a heat gun. There you go. So there's the heat gun next to her. Most of you will have heat guns and know the sort of size of a heat gun. So her body is, you know, there's the gun part of that. Gives you an idea. She's pretty chunky now. She's lovely. Always pleased to come and see you. And I think I'm hoping gonna give us our first clutch. Don't know when that's going to be. I keep looking every day to see if we have an ovulation. I don't think we're going to have that quite yet. She did go off food for 2 or 3 weeks, and I thought, oh, here we go. And then she started back on food again. As I say, we're going to do feeding tomorrow, so we'll see if she does this time. But I'm hoping that in the next couple of months or so that we might get an ovulation from her. She's certainly big enough too. So that would create everything would be pastel, half would be cinnamon. So pastel cinnamons or pewters, which would be 100% het for pied and 100% het for ultramale, which is the end game to be able to. We'll keep back all of these females that she produces, and they will probably go back to the dad to be able to get visual pied ultramales, which is pastel cinnamon pied ultramales, which would be amazing. So hopeful for her. So that's Storm. Just want to give you an update on some of the other ones. So Wanda, again, you've seen before. So she is our pied girl. She's just a straight pied. Very nice one. Pretty much 50-50 with the markings. But she is being paired to Firefly, who is our Justin Kaboka visual pied. So he's a pastel yellow belly Gene X pied. If I missed something, oh yeah, Firefly pied. So Firefly pastel fire, Gene X yellow belly pied. They're being paired together. He's a stud, and they've had, I think, 3 locks so far. And she's building as well. She's about 2,000 grams now as well. Still pounding food, so still in the building phase, but you can see she's cooling there, and I'm hopeful for her. So who else have we got being paired? Well, down here, this is the other one that, now she actually might be the first to give us a clutch, actually, because she's big and she has been off food. So if anything, actually, yeah, I've forgotten, she's likely to be the first to give us a clutch. She's been off food now for about 6 weeks. This is our spider, yellow belly, orange dream. What have I missed? Pastel. So pastel, yellow belly, orange dream, spider, calico. There you go. 5 gene snake. She's an adult. She's a proven breeding female. She went off food at about 2,800 grams. I haven't weighed. I don't want to mess about with her really. I'm just leaving her. So I haven't weighed her since. But she's been off food now for 5 or 6 weeks. I've been looking to see if there's an ovulation. I haven't seen one yet. Hopefully I haven't missed one, but she didn't go last year. We bought her. She had been paired last year, and she didn't go. And we've paired her to our het puzzle, who is Mulder. Now Mulder is right at the top, and I don't know if we're. Hopefully, oh, maybe you'll be able to see him. He's just. I just put the camera down. He's sat on top of his hide there, so hopefully you can see a little bit of him. He is a super pastel vanilla 100% het puzzle. They've had 2 locks, so only 2. I think 2, maybe 3 actually. No, 3. It is 3, and they lock for a long time. Every lock's been 12 plus hours, and so hoping that we might get a clutch from her. She didn't go last year, as I say, and she's a fairly big girl. But yeah, I think she was up to 2,800, 2,900 grams, something like that. Yeah, as you can see, she's calling, she's showing all the signs, she doesn't move much. So I'm hopeful that that could be the case. We've got this incubator that's due to arrive in about 3 weeks, so as long as she doesn't give us a clutch before then, we're okay. But yeah, I don't think we're going to. I don't think I've missed an ovulation, but she's lovely. And so what we're shooting for there, I mean, the top snake would be a super pastel vanilla orange dream, yellow belly, spider, 100%, 50%, sorry, het puzzle. And again, we will keep back all of the females to then put back to the dad to try and create visual puzzles. And obviously, as the dad isn't the spider, it won't be a problem if we keep back spider females there. So that's her. So yeah, her or Storm, I think, will give us the first clutch. We have got a female being paired to Lucifer. Now, they're in the next room. I'm not going to show you those. That's a lesser, a pastel lesser being paired to a Mojave 100% het ultra male. Lucifer was our first snake from New Forest Morphs, Paul at New Forest Morphs, and he has been paired 3 times with her. Admittedly, one of the times she was going into shed, and first time he was terrified. Second time he seemed up for it, but she was going into shed. And it's just they're on sort of alternate shed cycles. So we've just paired them again on the hope that we might be able to get something going. But I think he's going into shed now. So it's just, we give them 24 hours, see if there's any interaction. They're next to each other, but they're not doing more than that. So anyway, why am I showing you this one? Well, this is the last one we've got being paired so far. This is another spider. It's a super pastel, black pastel, lesser spider. She is another cog in the Pompeii project. We need the black pastel out of her. And she has now got to 1,600 grams, and she has had 1 pairing. So she's a first-time breeder, as is Storm. And as is Wanda, actually, the pied girl. But this one was one that I featured before, who had been a problem feeder just because we couldn't get the right prey item for her. Eventually we got onto Maltese. Now she nails Maltese, and she's actually now taken a rat as well, having got her nailing Maltese. But she was put to, let's show you him, Rocket. Here he is. So Rocket is our pastel clown, and he is 66% het for pied. And he's a first-time breeder as well. And so I wasn't expecting much from him. He's about 900 grams. Wasn't expecting too much. But put them together a week ago, and within a few hours they were locked. And stayed locked for quite some time. I do love the pastel clowns. I know they dirty up quite a bit. Be great to get fire into here. Love Rob's firefly clowns. His male, I see, has started breeding as well. But yeah, so this we're hoping as well that he proves out het pied. We won't be able to see if he is with this particular pairing with Pearl. This girl's called Pearl. Here you go, she's coming out now. Won't be able to see if he's het pied with that, but we are hoping to prove him out with some others. We've got a couple other girls, a few other girls that are, there's a chance could be ready late in the season. So let me just show you this one. This one is Hella. She is an Enchi, but she is 50% het for pied, and she is 66% het for clown. So she's going to go to Rocket, who you just saw, the pastel clown, 66% het pied. So there's a chance we could prove him and her out with that. She's currently about 1,300 grams, so there's a small chance she might, no, she's a bit more than that. She's about 120 off of 1,500, I think, somewhere like that. There's a chance she could be ready late in the season. Gamora's in a similar situation. Now this one is the one that's definitely gonna prove him out or not, we would hope, as long as we get a decent clutch from her. She is going into shed, so I'm not going to disturb her too much. She is a leopard pied, so visual pied to him as a pos het. So we should, as long as we get a decent clutch of eggs, should prove him out with her. She is a leopard pied, she's gorgeous. She's about 250 grams from being ready to be paired. And then the other one that is quite close to pairing is this girl. She's the next one that will be of size to pair. She is the wasp. She is a pastel yellow belly. Pastel yellow belly blade, 100% het clown. And what I'm hoping to pair her to, so she's about 1,400 grams at the minute, so hopefully another couple of meals and she'll be ready. And she does pound food. What I would like to pair her to, if he is ready, is this boy here. Now he's currently, in fact, let's see what he weighs. This is Vision. He is a visual clown. He's orange dream and Enchi as well. Let's just see what he's weighing now. I think he's about 650, something like that. No, a bit less. He's 573 grams. So he's a bit small at the minute, but I'm hoping that that we can give the wasp a little bit longer, which will give him longer. If we can get him up to maybe 800, so maybe wait another couple of months, that he might be ready. If not, the wasp, I'll just show you, not the wasp, Rocket can go to her as well, which would still be good. But anyway, so I think that's about it. Thanks again to everyone. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, and appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.